Why do I feel that my expression of love is treated less sincerely than your expression of love? Huh?
Huh?
Why aren't you? Are you just mocking me right now?
Yeah.
You're mean.
It's the Jack
And Cathy,
Show.
shit show.
And there we go.
Yeah, how was that?
Okay,
Did you like
I
that
think
one?
I think if yeah.
Okay. I'm concentrating.
You are a gaslighter? Mm. I have noticed that it is more challenging for you to do two things at one time. Like to have a conversation with me and do what you're doing right now. Like you are literally singularly focused. Do you know that? I'm being serious.
Yes, I do. I can't do two things at once.
No, it's not that you
Well,
can't do
it's not. Okay, wait, I don't.
it's not that you can't do two things. Oh, that's cute. That's very nice. It's not that you can't do two things at once.
Yeah, there are certain things I can't do two things at once.
Can
Like,
you pull that mic a little closer to you, by
yeah,
the way?
like,
That's good.
like
That's good.
talk on the phone and listen to somebody talking to me. Like listen on the phone or just be on the phone. Period, either listening or talking, and then have somebody talk to me.
Have you ever seen
I will hear nothing, like none of it.
what? Have you ever seen the movie Broadcast News?
Yeah, with
Remember that William Hurt?
uh
Not broad. Is it Broadcast News? I think it
Bonnie.
is.
Wait, who's the actress?
Yeah, she won an Academy Award. Well, anyway, you've
She
seen it,
was so
right?
good.
She was the producer, right?
What was her name?
I don't
We
remember.
should watch that movie again.
Let's watch it right now. Let's blow off the
Well,
podcast.
we have things to
And
do.
on that note, peace.
Hmm.
Have you seen? Do you remember it?
I do. I think I do. Yeah, William Hurt, and what's her name? Holly
Holly Berry.
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. Nice
Holly
job.
Hunter.
Very good. Way to bring that back.
Thank you.
The reason I reference it in the movie, if you recall, what's his name plays a role where he's sweating all the time, which is freaking hilarious. But they all have earpieces in.
Hmm.
And so as he's conducting an interview and the person's answering, she's feeding him with questions.
Hmm.
Don't forget to ask about this. Remember, you got to talk about that. And he's having a conversation. That would drive you insane, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't be able to do it.
You'd be,
I don't have
you'd
the
be
skill
touching her
set.
going, hold on a second. What?
Say it again.
Slower.
Okay, so yeah, I would have to stop, listen, and then redirect. I could not do that. I don't know if I ever could do that. Like, I truly believe certain parts of my brain have turned into gray matter.
Well,
For
the whole
sure.
brain is gray matter.
Okay, well, black then. Dead.
Are
Dead.
you saying you never could do that previously, or you're saying
I don't
that
think I could. I don't think I could.
so you never had that skill?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You have that skill.
Not as good as it used to be, for sure. And scientist stuff that I have read
Yeah.
says there's no such thing as multitasking. We really can't do those two things at the same time. So we're trying to parse out and hear different things quickly, but we can't just do two things at the same time.
Really?
Yep. That your brain focuses on what's in front of it.
What about if when you're driving and having a conversation and you're still changing lanes, you're turning, you're accelerating and slowing, stopping down,
You're kind of
stopping,
doing
paying
automatically.
attention. I know, but that's a part of the brain. You're not like asleep.
Haven't you ever
right?
had a moment when you went through an intersection because you're talking to someone on the speakerphone of the car and you go, fuck, was that a green light? Did you ever have that? Because you're taking,
No.
yeah, you have. You had to have had a moment where you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure. I just don't. I don't remember. Mm-hmm.
Well, banter is your favorite part of this podcast. And in listening and editing our podcasts and reproducing them and realizing that in our early days of podcasting, we actually had interesting things to talk about. Dynamics that made our life a shit show and how we were working through those. And that's why our listenership has declined as opposed to inclined.
What's happening right now?
I'm just asking you, is there any banter you want to talk about?
I think we were bantering.
No, I didn't know if there was any other specific thing you wanted to banter about.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
So how was your weekend?
Like I just said to you, it's so funny you should ask because it's exactly like yours. So how was your weekend?
Are we ever apart? Does that bother you? Oh, here we go.
Does it bother me? No, I love being with you. I've grown very accustomed to your presence. It feels strange when we are apart. It truly does feel strange when we're apart.
Strangely comfortable.
I'm relaxed. I sleep like a baby. No. No, it does feel strange to be apart. We have been together nonstop for the most part. I went on a couple of trips a couple of years ago, and you've gone on a couple of trips, but otherwise we're pretty much together all the time. I've never spent this amount of time with another human being, except when my kids were little and they required me for everything to keep them alive. Oh, I miss those days.
Is it the breastfeeding?
I loved breastfeeding.
Did you really?
I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. I thought it was absolutely remarkable. I felt like the most powerful thing in the universe.
Why is that?
Oh my God, my body makes food for this creature to live? How fucking cool is that? Oh my God. You do that. Let me see you do that. I mean, isn't that amazing?
It is pretty cool.
It grew in my body, and then we feed it like every other animal on this planet, right?
Yeah.
And it's just remarkable. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And when it ended with Sam, I think he stopped breastfeeding earlier than Mackenzie because I was busy working. So he was getting more bottles and stuff. And then just one day.
What age?
Oh, it was before a year. It was probably like 10 months or 11 months or somewhere in there. And he's just like, no, I don't want to lay down and do that. I'm like, oh, I'm not
So you'd
ready.
rather hold the bottle and walk around and eat as he needs to and all that stuff?
I don't know. He wasn't walking then.
Yeah, he walked till he was 4.
He was walking at 14 months.
Yeah.
Versus Mackenzie walked at 9 months.
Yeah.
But they both seem to have mastered it now. The whole walking
They do
thing.
okay with the walking thing. Especially with him at 6'5".
Yes.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
does walk upright.
No, it was really remarkable. It was my favorite thing. I just so wonderful.
I watched a video, shockingly on social media, of pregnant couples and how men can help their wives. And I thought of this, and it made me want to have a baby with you just so we could try it. I often fantasize.
That's not physically possible. So
I often fantasize that you and I were high school sweethearts. You know that.
I know.
I say that to you all the time.
I was thinking that too. It would have been cool to co-parent with you.
I think we would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have learned a lot. Anyway, in this video, it said how the women were probably in their clearly in their third trimester, maybe even close to the last month. And it was a guide for how men can help their wives feel better. And so the man comes from behind the woman. Don't go there.
And lifts up her belly.
Yeah. Have you seen that video?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it a couple of times, but I actually just saw it yesterday. So there must be something.
That we're both getting the same fucking feeds on different accounts? Oh, no. You're saying they're just pushing the algorithm on certain
I
stuff.
think it's the algorithm. I think something in the algorithm says, oh, she clearly Jack Honar is her partner. She texts him and calls him more than any other person. So I'm going to send the same stuff to Jack as I do to Cathy and vice versa because
So do you think the
we do that
algorithm
a
wants
lot.
us to get along and talk? Is that it? Have content
To have
share?
the same experiences.
That'd be
I
wild
think.
if it
I
wasn't.
think.
So you saw it
Yeah.
though, where he lifts up the belly.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
No.
Did you ever think of doing that?
No.
It all seemed to bring. Now maybe it's performative. I don't know. It seemed to bring relief for every woman, right?
Right. Yeah.
See, that's what I
Yeah.
would have done for you.
Oh, I know, honey.
It would
I know you
have.
would have. I know. Yeah.
I also would have tried to breastfeed on the other breast. She would have.
Oh, I know, honey.
You'd have been like, "Are you really doing this?" By the way, every dude is trying. So,
They have. Have you talked to them all?
every guy I've ever known. It's we have a lot of women don't realize is we have secret societies where it's called test the limits, where we try to get away with things and we talk to each other about how.
Is that a secret? I don't.
We do it overtly. You're
I
saying
think it's pretty overt. Yes. I don't think there's a secret there.
one of our podcasts when I was doing all the editing, it just reminded me of it because I'm doing Opus Clip stuff where we get make those little clips because I'm gonna start pushing it more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there is one episode where the first 40 minutes of our banter was just me doing bro talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, talking about Shorzy and then guys.
Oh, so that was
jokes.
recent. Shorzy wasn't that long ago.
No, but it was a reference to all that stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I saw that video and I thought of you because we've talked often about, or I've fantasized that we were high school sweethearts. You have to appreciate something. So, now I'm going to, should I shut up? You have something to say. Go.
I do not have anything to say, babe. It's a podcast. Go ahead and talk.
I want to, do you have any more like bantering things you want to talk about?
I don't know. Shit comes to my head, but you go ahead.
Because I used to hate when we were freeform when we first started the podcast.
Oh, I know you hated that. You're like, stay on track.
This
and I
is
was
the
like,
topic today. We're
and I
going to
was
talk
like-
about 5 things.
and I was like, but on My Favorite Murder, they shit chat for like 15
Well, they eventually
minutes.
get to the murder.
Oh, they do. They do. They
So
get
I'm
to.
gonna press pause and get to my point because there's points I want to make.
But even Karen Scott on Pivot, they
Ramble.
chit chat. They have a little banter.
Well, but then she also says, "Okay, let's get to it."
Yep.
All right, and she'll do that all the time. She goes, "Okay."
Okay.
Well,
Are you
whatever she
doing
says-
that now? Are we getting to it?
Well,
now?
I've got things on my mind that I really want to talk about, but I also don't want to abandon the banter.
Okay.
So, how was your weekend?
Talk. Tell me about the things on your mind.
Well, more banter stuff and more shit show stuff. I want to say thank you. One of the biggest fears you're having. So we,
That happens to you a lot. You have 5 things come down from the cloud, and
They're
they
all-
all want to roll out of your mouth at the
they're
same
like,
time.
Hey, I need to get some space here. Can I get my
So
turn?
you
Wait.
have 2 words from this topic,
God.
and then you
Babe,
pivot
it's
and do
crazy.
2 words from this, and then this talk, and then this, and then you're like, wait, pause. You have to organize the.
there's so many things I want to
flow.
share with you. And it's ironic that we live together. We're with each other 29/8. And yet I still feel in the podcast, I have so many more things to tell you. First, you have expressed on this podcast how you were concerned about us getting this new condo that we got, which is a rehab condo that we're taking on because grass, once again, with us as a fucking shit show, grass does not grow under our feet.
No.
So
Crazy. Can't believe we're taking on another project.
So we're taking on yet another project. It's a little bit more manageable. You've asked me to stay within a certain budget.
$5.
And you have also said you're worried about our relationship because we
Remodeling. Yes.
we tend to struggle for both reasons. I can be overly aggressive. You can be considerably sensitive. Fair?
Yes.
A good combination that does not make Yoda. Right?
Well, we're working on you. Okay.
And anyway, anyway,
Yes.
by the way, I love doing podcasts with you in the morning. You are so much more effective.
I'm not yawning.
You're not only yawning, your brain is working. Usually around like 6 o'clock, you're just doom scrolling and or you're working. You're
Seriously?
one of two things. Yeah,
Seriously?
you're literally or you're working.
Yes.
'Cause in the
I
morning,
usually
your
do
clients
work.
aren't calling you. At night, your clients are frantic, which is
Yeah.
okay. That's the nature of your business.
Now that you mentioned work, I'm thinking about.
Oh, don't. I didn't want to go there.
Okay. Go.
So my point is you've been concerned about the fact that we're taking this on again. And I've been very sensitive to how I come across because I tend to say no right away, even though you do that also. You just don't realize it as much until we talked about it last night that you do that.
That's fair.
And so I just want to say thank you because you really said, hey, I'd like you to stick to this dollar amount. And so I kept telling you, I think it's going to be more. And then last night we made a lot of changes that aren't what we wanted. I know we're talking about problems that many people wish they had where we have enough money to rehab a house.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, we don't have to be crazy with it. We could blow our budget and then that's going to affect other things. And
Yeah.
so we had always fantasized about having built-in refrigerator, like the Viking fridges and appliances with, what do you call those cabinets now? Panel doors and all that stuff, which are gorgeous. And they're, what are you smiling for?
Just how expensive they are.
Well, they're
I'm,
beautiful. We
smiling
always wanted it.
Oh my God, we abandoned that quick. We're like, never.
Well, but we're 60 now almost, right? And we had dreams and visions of we've earned this. We've worked very hard. And yet we are both, this is why we would have been high school sweethearts, I think. We are at our core very pragmatic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to say thank you because we shifted from spending a lot. I shouldn't say spending a lot, spending more. To then last night we sat down and went, do we need that? Can we just do this instead? Mm-hmm. This will save us here, here, and here. And we shaved $2,000 off our budget.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a remodel of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's flooring.
Yeah.
Our entire flooring, we estimate it's going to, because our place is small.
Yeah.
It's going to come in around $1,200. We just paid for flooring because of those changes.
Right.
So I just want to say thank you because it's been on my mind. It's been on my mind that I don't want to upset you because I'm making changes that are going against some of the design things that you like.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you seem to be embracing them for the same reasons that we can still make it look good. It's just not exactly what we wanted. And no one will know the difference. They're going to see the place and go, holy shit, this is beautiful. And they won't really know that, well, we wanted panel doors here. We wanted this type of dishwasher there.
Right.
I mean, we didn't go with Bosch appliances, which would have blown the budget.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, we could have spent that much money, right?
Right.
But then
Right.
what does that do?
Right.
It takes us out of some other things we want for our future. So I just want to, that's a big part of our shit show is learning to not fight with one another. And it took us 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together almost 5 years now.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that crazy?
Doesn't it feel like
Forever. Wonderfully forever.
like 35 years?
Yeah, which now leads me into my segue. Should we do a commercial here?
Okay.
We don't have commercials anymore. That's the other thing I'd like to do for the podcast. It just popped into my head. I would just like to start doing commercials for products that we like. Like we do the Skin Deep, but they give us an affiliation thing, right? If you go to their website, use our name.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to, this is where my brain goes just on fire in the morning.
I know.
So everyone knows
you're-
I'm usually up at 5. Kathy gets up at 6:37. So those 2 hours between the time I'm up and she's
What time
up.
is it?
It's 7:30 maybe.
Okay.
By the time you get up, from the time I've gotten up, I've already done some work, watched a TV show, watched the news, probably doom scrolled for a little bit. And I'm so excited for you to start your day that you're just getting your engine started. And I'm like that little dog in that Bugs Bunny cartoon going,
Yeah.
hey, Spike, what's going on, Spike? What are you doing today, Spike?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I would just like to start promoting products that we like. And advertiser be damned. Like I love that Moonlight matcha that we get from Chicago.
Yeah, that is good.
So maybe we'll do some higher end, nicer commercials when we get our studio fixed, because that's the next thing we're working on here is finally cleaning this place up. I wish we could show a camera. Maybe we'll do that one day. Just talk about, because we really do have a shit show of a life right now,
Yes, we do.
right? I mean, there's boxes you can't see behind me, but there's boxes on the floor and boxes of stuff to Cathy's right. So I just want to say thank you for managing this house for us and for us getting along last night, because one of your biggest fears is us not getting along during this remodel process. Because the outcome is great. It's the process that's sometimes unbearable. Thoughts?
I agree. I mean, that's all what we've discussed. Yeah. I think part of my nerves for taking this project on is that it could not be at a busier time in life because it's embarking on the holidays, right? So it's busy in terms of logistics and family and plans and buying gifts and but it's also the expense of spending that money right now, and then again the expense of the holidays kind of all feels like a little bit of a squeeze.
Well, and
then work.
Our professional lives are simultaneously incredibly busy. You have a lot of, by the way, if anyone's looking for an amazing real estate agent, please contact my wife, Cathy Riley. You can follow her, the Cathy Riley, at Instagram.
Licensed with Compass in both Illinois and Wisconsin.
Yes. And you've been quite successfully busy. Your business is picking up.
I mean, who thought that November? It's just
got 4 big projects on your plate right now.
It's got
at least 4.
Yeah.
So, and some closings next week. So, and my business has been really busy with some of the projects I'm working on, and I'm venturing and starting a new thing.
Yeah.
So it's so funny, Kath. I don't know that we'd be able to retire. I really, I guess we could. We like being busy. We like being.
I do like being busy, and
we like being purposeful. I think you and I both are very similar in that our day is rewarded by seeing something move from one place to another, not just going on a boat. When our friends talk about their boat and their retirement, because they're going to retire in 2 years, and they want nothing to do with just boat and bike and tennis and pickleball, fuck me, man. I don't think I could do that.
I actually would like to just do remodeling projects full time.
I know, but that's still work, right?
Do you think we can still we have to make sure we'll still be able to work on our hands and needs and carry heavy things?
Do you know what I think is most exciting for me is literally the prospect of the stuff you've got going on with our friend Pat here in Wisconsin, without divulging too many names, where he's really looking for us, the 3 of us, to find properties and kind of do some rehab work. Yeah. And we share very similar. I love that. I think that would keep us very active. I love the thought of I'm not as strong as I used to be or as energized as I used to be, but boy, do I like feeling dirty at the end of the day.
To be sure. Yes, I like feeling physically exhausted at the end of the day too, because I've been working hard, and that has not been a focus for a few months now. I have not
worked out, you mean?
I have not worked out to stay strong.
We've been too busy.
Yeah. Well, that's an excuse, and we both know it, that we've been too busy, because
we can carve time out instead of doom scrolling.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You're right.
And you were always somebody that got up early to, we've established you wake up really early, and you used to go work out right away. Yeah. And now you wait for me. And then I slow you down. And then I just have a nice quiet morning, and I make a matcha or a coffee. I know. I love that. And I love seeing your face
working out with you, mostly because I can watch your tuchus on that.
Seriously.
Okay.
But I would like to get back to that.
There's just a lot. We have a lot on our plate, and we have a very messy house, and we're trying to figure out what to do with the other room so we can create this studio, because right now we're just throwing this ugly shit together. But anyway, okay, here's...
You have a topic?
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Okay. Was one of them the topic I said yesterday? Remember this for the podcast? Okay, because I don't remember any of it.
Wait, you just said you remember for the podcast.
I just
what it
remembered
was.
that
You
there
remember
was
saying it.
something that I told you to remember, and
Okay.
I don't remember what it
You're
was.
the best. That is hilarious.
But I turned to you and said, you have to remember this for the podcast because this is a good topic.
I will. And
Okay.
I did. There's two things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So we can transition here, right? This would be a great time to insert a break.
Yeah, could I go heat up my matcha? Never mind.
No, your matcha's fine.
It is fine.
So that's one thing. Like, be a great time to have a matcha commercial right now.
Mm-hmm.
We could do you think we could carve out some time to do a really cool video commercial for their product?
Carve out some time.
Like, the one that Sarah did for us because she's doing that consulting. Sarah is one of our advertisers. Oh God, Sarah Spain.
Oh, not Sarah.
That's her name, Sarah? Molly. Whoops a daisy.
And you're looking at me like, oh God, she's not remembering
She's
anything.
losing it. It's
I'm like,
Molly.
Sarah?
I meant Molly. Sorry, I don't know why Sarah came into my head.
Okay,
Her hair reminds me of my cousin Sarah, which is where I went to right away.
got it.
I don't know why I just jumped to my cousin being.
Mm-hmm.
But remember how cool Molly's thing is? It's really well done, professional.
Very, very, very. Yeah.
I'd like us to consider doing something similar
Okay.
for those products. What do you think?
Yeah.
You'd be up for it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll do that for the next episode.
Okay.
So good time to take a break here. If you guys want to walk away and press pause. Okay. Welcome back. Two things I wanted to talk about. And this is the advice I have for everybody. This is the first one you're going to be surprised by. I'm still blown away by the words that you used with me because I've never had this kind of relationship in my life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, I will. Go ahead and finish your thoughts and share the story, the topic.
I've had moments this past month of, in my life would be told arrogance, overconfidence, being too much. But I've had moments this past month where I've been very decisive. There's been things going on at work that have been fairly intense because we've got a big project with a significant national client. And so my confidence and my willingness and desire to speak out has become greater. So much so that we were just at a coffee shop and there was this interaction that took place with this young woman, an older woman, and a dog. And I found myself going, kind of twisting in the wind, going, do I say something here? And my inclination is to say something. Right? That's always me. Like even little things like, hey, knock it off, watch the language. I've never been fearful of that stuff. And so this older woman and this younger woman had a confrontation, and I sided with the younger woman. It was over a dog, and this older woman let her dog kind of ramble all over the place. And a younger woman was concerned about it. And so she was expressing her displeasure, and I said, hey, be a better owner, essentially. You're not listening to someone who might be afraid of dogs. I don't give a shit how nice you think your dog is. Be a better owner.
Yeah.
And it went down this whole path. And I come to the car and I tell you some stories that had happened during the day. That's one of a couple. And normally when I would tell these types of stories, and I'm sure the people are listening right now who listen to our show might say things like, do you have to say things? You can be a bit much.
The things you've heard in your past.
Yeah. And I like the fact that I'm that person that says, hey, knock it off.
Yeah.
This young girl we were in a coffee shop, and you can bring them into coffee shops in Wisconsin. And a lot of places you can.
Yeah.
And this woman brought in her husky, and the husky was on an untethered leash, essentially, kind of that string one that expands. And went right up to this young girl and kind of stuck its nose all over the place. And she said, do you mind? And the woman said, he's a nice dog. And she said, please, if you could back away. And the woman wouldn't relent, the older woman. And then we got into a discussion of how shitty dog owners create shitty dogs. And as someone who has trained a dog to sit and stay and all those other kinds of things, it is the owner. So my point is, I felt bad for this woman and I said something, and I get criticized for that in my life. Why can't you just chill? Does everything have to be something to talk about? Does everything have to be a debate?
Mm-hmm.
I like being that guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So long-winded. I get in the car and retell this story to you, and I'm kind of cautious because I'm expecting a little bit of a, well, maybe you could have said it better this way, or did you have to say something? And you went, oh, it's great. You want to tell your side of the story? Because the net of it is, from me, I went, holy shit, I have never had, certainly not a spouse,
Mm-hmm.
that said the words you said,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt wonderful.
Well, share the rest.
So I tell you this whole story, and I went, am I being arrogant right now? Am I being rude? All the negative connotations that I think I've experienced so much.
Mm-hmm.
And you went, no, you're empowered. You're feeling great. You're feeling confident. You did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You were empowered in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, holy shit, I've never had a partner ever say, way to go.
Yeah, it really struck you that that was very different than what you usually hear. And that makes me sad that you
Sure.
that you weren't supported. And one of the things I loved, so many things about you when I met you, but one of the things I really admired,
My body.
yes, your sexy body. One of the things I admired is that you have a very strong moral compass. You have a very strong compass of this is right, this is wrong. And most people, including myself, don't speak up when something is wrong. We're just not comfortable, confident. We don't want to, I don't know. We don't want to make ourselves vulnerable or have people spout, we don't want to think of the consequences. We don't want to, and sometimes that is the best course of action. But I really admired that you were not afraid to speak up in certain moments. And I was like, that's cool. This man knows who he is, knows what is right and what is wrong. And if you see an injustice, you're like, that's an injustice. And if there's something I need to do about it, I'm most likely going to do it or say it or whatever. And there's a tact to that. There's an approach to that, one could argue this approach is more effective than that approach. But whatever that approach is, you were not afraid to take that action. And so this was a small example of where, you saw this exchange between the dog owner and this younger woman who expressed her discomfort. And you were like, ma'am, this is, you really need to rein in your dog. She's clearly not comfortable. And that's wrong. And so I just felt like I want you to change that negative dialogue in your head. You're very quick to be what's the word I'm looking for?
Deprecating.
Yeah, self-deprecating. Well, I love self-deprecating humor, but this is different. This is you just have, I swear to God, you have, and we've talked about this, you have had some emotional abuse in your life by being told you are too much or whatever that is. And I want to be that person that changes that dialogue for you.
Well, it's interesting. Certainly, thank you for saying all that. That's the bigger point was I actually brought it up at work because on this project with some of the stuff at work, people are kind of relying on me to make some decisions, and I'm trying to be more democratic, trying to get people more involved. Part of my strategy is that the more people feel like they're having a say in the decisions, the more they're engaged. Ironically, in these particular circumstances, because my expertise is so much higher than everybody else's that are participating, except for Don, right? The business partner that I've aligned with on this project, that they're truly looking for me to make decisions. And so it was kind of tossing and turning in me, the same type of thing. Am I being, right? Being too aggressive here. I know too much. I got to get people involved. And so what ended up happening is these are all related, right? I see someone struggling with this dog thing, and my gut wants to tell this woman, can you back off? Like, leave her alone. Like, right. And to be sure, I think what gets lost is that it comes across as if I'm like, yo, bitch, take your fucking dog back.
Well,
but I don't do that.
No, you don't. And to be sure, you could easily do that. You know, you're self-aware enough that you know that if you had a threatening moment, you could get very scary and amp it up and be threatening if you wanted to be. But you approach it differently because you want to be effective, right?
Well, this in getting to this case and to work and everything else, it was just really interesting because I've had similar moments in my life, certainly my marriage, where we had one couple, and by the way, if people listening to this agree or disagree, this is the part that I get aggressive on. Don't give a fuck about what I'm going to say. And you know, I say that often. When I listen to these podcasts, because I have to edit them and review them, every time I listen, I go, wow, you're really aggressive. And yet here I am doing it again. And the point is I have a spouse that lets me be me. I've always told you the theme of our wedding song was, I like to be with me when I'm with you. I think that's a huge piece of this. I feel empowered because of you. And there were times in my marriage where we had this one couple over for dinner. I told you this story before. We went out to dinner with them, brought them back to the house to kind of hang out, have some drinks, chill and talk. It's a beautiful summer night. And they were lamenting the fact that they found out about this gay couple that had moved into our neighborhood, and their kids were going to be in the same, this gay couple adopted these kids, and those same kids are going to be in our boys' classroom. And this guy right away said, I don't want my kids associating with kids whose parents use the F word, right? And I started getting really offended because those kids that he's talking about and that gay couple was my cousin.
I remember.
And you know that whole story. And so for anyone listening,
I think you've told that story on the podcast.
I might have. Actually. Waited and waited and waited. And then I went, you know what? I'm done with this talk. Now, I didn't say, fuck you, you bigoted piece of fucking shit, asshole, cocksucker.
All the things that were in your head.
I've never been that person. Even when I was younger and played sports, I would just get... like if someone started getting under my skin, I'd be like, you're fucking dead now. You're dead to me. And I would crush them. But I don't feel that's effective. And so my point is, after that night, when I said it'd probably be a good idea for you guys to go home. That's my family. And this is not something I'm comfortable being a part of. And then the apologies are like what I did to Kurt when he said, transgender people, they're sick in the fucking head. And when I said, I have a transgender daughter, Kurt. He started crying afterward because of the way I said it. I said, you've just lost a friendship for life. Yeah. And it's going to take I don't know how to come back from this.
Sure.
And so my point is, in those other times, and I feel this is okay to do a little spouse smacking here. I was told, great, now we just lost two friends. And if you can imagine, I went on to say, these are not friends.
No.
We didn't lose anything, and I'll be damned if I'm going to sit there. And so to have you now go, way to go, baby. Every spouse, that doesn't mean you don't tell me. To be clear, everyone needs to hear this. There are several times when you remind me, are you being effective?
Yeah.
So it's not as though you are unapologetic.
Because I know that's important to you. I know it's not just to like, you don't just come out and like call someone names and then walk away. You think, okay, how can I be effective here? Even when you're online with all this political stuff going on and you have quite a voice in social media that you engage in these, threads and stuff, and someone calls you a libtard or something like that, and you approach it differently. And because that's more effective, right?
Way more effective. I mean, the most recent one was the fact that my old high school basketball coach who I had a terrible relationship with, had no fucking clue that who he was saying something to came at me. And you're right. He called me a libtard for my view on some stuff. And then he proceeded to call me socialist loving libtard or something along those lines. This guy was a public school basketball coach for 30 years. He coached at ISU and Pitt for 30 years combined, which means he has a pension from those schools, which means he got public funding from those schools, which means his kids went to school for free because of that stuff. But socialism, this is how I responded. So socialism is a piece of shit unless you benefit from it. So I didn't go and call him a conservative cock or those other kinds of things, right? That's your point. My bigger point is you don't let me off the hook. So I don't want everyone thinking here that you just acquiesce to or that your obedience to my rants. You'll say that probably wasn't the best version of you. That's not the point. You see my actions as empowerment. You're empowered, baby. And when you said that, I truly was blown away. I was like, fuck, I'm empowered. How about that? Every partner needs a partner like you. You're crying.
I love
right
you,
now.
babe.
Why are you crying?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not crying.
You're crying. I'm not
crying.
crying. You're crying. What's that from?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. We'll figure it out later. So that was my first thing. So I wanted to say thank you to that. And if there's a takeaway from anyone listening, it's to try to see your partner in that light, because my partner always saw me. And I've experienced more in my life that I'm a lot and I'm too much. And that dinner example I gave you where what came out of it was, well, great. Guess we lost those friends. They're not friends anymore. And I'm more willing to walk away. When I used to go out to dinner with people who were really rude to waiters and waitstaff, I'm not going out to dinner with them anymore. That's not how I conduct myself. And by the way, to be sure, made a shit ton of mistakes in my life. This is not about a guy who's been perfect. Far from it.
Yeah.
I do feel that there's some parts about being with a partner that make you feel empowered. That doesn't mean you should go out recklessly. So thank you. That was
You're welcome.
takeaway one.
Yep.
And then now the thing we remembered to talk about that you wanted me to remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're already 43 minutes in and we're just getting to that.
We had a really good conversation because I've always fantasized that we were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
And while we now have 5 kids between us, we didn't raise them together, right?
Nope.
They were raised in different households, and we were sharing stories of how similar and different we've raised our kids, and how I wish I had done some things that looked more like you, and you had done some things that looked more like me, which prompted me to say, God, we would have been really great parents. And fantasize, don't get me wrong, I love our 5 kids. But it got us to thinking about how, and if they're listening to this, while we're never going to be specifically their parents, we can still parent them. They can learn from our relationship as a parent guide.
Yes.
And then you right away went, oh my God, I want to talk about this. So I'm going to shut up.
Well, when your children become grown-ass adults and they really seem to need you less, because we're both feeling that. Although your children, all 3 of them, call you regularly, if not daily. I don't have that, right? And I know my parents, my children love me and need me and all that good stuff, but they don't talk regularly to me. And so, but my point is in general that they seem to need us less. And you have actually been saying, because your kids are all doing very well, and so are my kids, that, I'm not needed anymore. Guess they don't need me anymore. And that's not true. We in what you and I are, at least I like to believe this, and hopefully this thought isn't just for my own ego, but I like to believe that our kids are witnessing our healthy but not perfect relationship. And, there was a moment where I'm going to bring up the story of when we moved into our Chicago condo and my son Sam was over, and you and I were having a disagreement about where the furniture should be placed, and we both decided I was right. And right? But my son was witnessing us like disagreeing and kind of getting
Mad at one another.
Mad at one another.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't like yell or anything.
But it was me being
but it was
frustrated
there
with
was
you.
tension in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, in the past, I would have avoided a moment like this because I wouldn't have wanted my kids to witness this argument. And I decided, no, let him witness this and let him see us resolve this and let him see us still be close and loving and push through this. And how great of a lesson is that? So my point is that I believe that our kids, even though we didn't raise them together, are still going to witness the healthiness, the healthy things and maybe some unhealthy things, but still working through them, right? And if any of our kids would listen to our podcast, they would learn even more about us and our relationship, right? But I like to believe that they are still witnessing and learning from us, even as a couple that's only been together 5 years, and that we can have a positive influence, and that what we show them and what they glean from witnessing our relationship is still very important and influential and shifting and shaping.
That one day with your son was really interesting for me because my kids, I think this is why I keep saying that we would have been great high school sweetheart. You would have cheated on me at some point because the stress of my career, you would have just been distracted for a while. Then you would have apologized, and then I would be getting cancer, and then you'd be living a life of regret.
And then they'd make the movie about your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And anyway,
I digress.
The one thing that I feel we do well for one another, you've taught me to be more kind, and I think I've pushed you to create more boundaries because I think you used to give in to a lot of things. Mm-hmm. We just talked about it the other day of glass balls, rubber balls. You and I were talking about some stuff, and I went, hey, that's a glass ball right there.
Yeah.
Everything else is a rubber ball.
Yeah.
Even me.
Yeah.
I made myself a rubber ball in that situation, right? For anyone that doesn't know what that means, look up glass ball, rubber ball. You'll figure it out. So I think we would have pushed each other toward a combined way of thinking. What was interesting is that my kids grew up with so much antagonism and fighting that to see something a little more peaceful is alarming to them. Like, why isn't my dad getting so excited about this? Conversely, your kids grew up with, in my opinion, so much passivity. Would you agree with that? Everything was very passive and non-communicative, and so for them to see controversy, they go, "Wait, why is this so angry?" And that day, I remember being really frustrated with you because you were like, "Nope, we're doing it like this," and I go, "Can we just look at it this way?" "Nope, it's not going to work." And I was getting really frustrated. But oddly, if it had been my kids in that room, I'd have been like, "Riley, come on," right? But I kept tempering that because I was afraid of your son because he was getting really uncomfortable. And all that went through my mind, believe it or not, was we're just disagreeing, dude. I love your mother. She loves me. This is normal. And so that's where I think we would have been incredible parents. And yet we can still be, that the whole point of this was, even though we didn't raise them from birth.
And even though they're 30 and 28 and 26s and 24s and
they're still going to see this. And one of the things that Cathy and I talked about early in our relationship, because you were on fast forward from the moment we met, right? You saw this between us.
I liked you a lot right away.
Well, you saw everything right away, and I was a little bit more reluctant. And the one thing I did see that I think you would agree you embraced was that you were so anxious to have the kids like us and one another because you were so confident in us. And so I used to always say to you, kind of like using your own words, give it time.
Mhm.
And what we're seeing is that we're becoming parents of these kids without, it's way different. Your kids are never going to listen to me if I call up and go, hey, why did you do that to your mother? That's not going to land, and vice versa.
No.
Right?
No.
If we were married and raised these kids from birth, they've got a lot more latitude there.
No doubt, no doubt. As I said to my son recently, I said, I recognize that Jack is your mom's husband, not your stepdad, even though that could be a stamp you put on it because of the
Wait,
how we all label things. But this man has not been in your life since you were 4, So I get that navigating that is different, right? I don't expect you to have this emotional tie. I expect you to honor Jack and respect Jack, but he doesn't need to be a father figure, And Sam agreed. He's like, exactly. So I think he appreciated that. That's how I see it. It's not when you get married late in life like this and you're blending families, you just want that partner that you're bringing into your family to be just a positive new part of your family, and not be taking over as a parent unless that's needed in some way or circumstances lend themselves to that and a parent steps up. I mean, there's opportunity for that, right? But in our scenario, it's just about, what's most important to my children is how you treat me.
Mhm.
And I think the same the other way. What's most important to your children is how I treat you, right? And that's perfectly fine.
I just feel, and that's why we want to talk about it, that just because we are not combined, the birth parents of these kids, that parenting them now becomes just my job or your job.
Mm-hmm.
My job with your kids and yours with mine is going to be a little more subtle. The parenting comes in where I saw something on social media where I reposted this, that the best form of parenting, and the Gottmans had talked about this, and so did Alexander Solomon, and so too did, what's her name, Esther Perel,
Mm-hmm.
because this guy put this clip together of all this. The best form of parenting is for kids to see parents respecting and loving one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So whether or not they came out of your vajij or not,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to see us as parents. They may not turn to you, nor you may not have, or I may not have the latitude to interject, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you'd be able to call up Alex or Key or Sam and go, hey, you made a really bad choice there,
Oh, of course.
right?
I would never.
However, they're going to see that I say it and you kind of go, yep, Gad's right.
Mm-hmm.
Those are,
Well, most likely you and I have talked about it first.
yeah, I guess the advice to divorced people maybe is what I'm getting at, is that you actually are parenting each other's
you have
kids.
an influence and maybe the yeah,
I'm getting caught up on the word parenting.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, anyway, that's what I want to
All
talk
right.
about. So thank you. Let's jump to the cards.
let's do it.
We are part of the Skin Deep. I apologize, and I know you do too, that we are just kind of doing this haphazardly lately, but we don't have a studio. We're taking on more than we should. Our work is really busy. We are idiots. Here's a card for you.
Which
We
deck
like-
is this?
This is still the relationship
This
one.
is I don't like that. Fill in your own question. I don't have the brain. Let's see.
We just like to ask questions at the end of every episode. We've been doing it since the beginning for the past 3 years of our podcast, more than 125 in.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to still ask questions of one another. And we like the Skin Deep.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one day they'll give us some money for all the shit we do for them. Got 3 years of stuff, but
Don't hold your breath.
I'm not at all.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right. You go first.
I know my answer to this. Do you think we'll still be this close in 15 years? Why or why not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We
will
will be dead. I told you in the car.
We're going to be buried together.
I
We're
told
going to.
I told you in the car I said to you, do you see yourself 3 years from now, like just having one of those things where one of your clients and you just really click and they're like, honey, I don't know how this happened, but it did. I'm in love with him. And you go, why do you do that?
Yes. You do that all the time. All the time.
You see us together at 75.
Babe. Yeah. You're
Alive?
it.
Alive?
Yes.
I don't know, babe. That's a stretch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That was an easy one. So why
All right.
why do you see us being together 15 years? Because the question
I
is
feel like you are just a very, very good match for me on so many levels. I have never been so deeply loved and nurtured and cared for. Like I know you have my back all the time. Like I turn around, you are there. I've never known that. You challenge me in a lot of ways. Sometimes I can't stand you for it. And I feel like I'm having a relationship for the first time in my life.
same.
And we just have a lot of fun together. We laugh all the time. We keep setting goals. We're looking forward to the future. We have such similar interests. So yeah, it took me this long to find you. I'm not letting you go.
All right.
Okay.
So
All
I'm going to rebroadcast this when you have that affair with the client because you just couldn't control yourself.
There it is.
And
Okay. So this one is very interesting. Besides me,
Oh,
who like present tense, or did you love the most?
oh. I'm presuming that's not children.
I'm presuming it's partner level stuff. Yeah.
I don't think I ever really have.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it took me this long in life to realize, like, I'm so proud of younger people who have a grasp of some of that early on. Doesn't mean that they're permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're going to make it either.
Well, I would like to amend that statement that I think you can have a successful relationship and that doesn't always have to look like it's forever. I think you can have relationships that are chapters in your life and you can look at them in their entirety and be like, you know what? That was a great relationship. Thank you for that relationship. But now I may be moving on to other things. But I don't look at that as a failure.
Longevity isn't success.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. I don't think I think I've cared for a lot of people. I just never, no one said to me, babe, you're just being empowered right now. My first reaction we're going to rewind all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
My first reaction to all these stories I tell you is, I'm being obnoxious right now. I'm being too much right now, aren't I? And when I've never had I believe this gets conflated often that Scott Galloway is now talking about it like crazy that men need women. And that seems to put the burden on women to supply some sort of need to men. That's not what he's saying. But I want to lean into this. I've gone through my own personal reflections and self-confidence, all that kind of stuff. So technically don't need anybody. When I went out to Arizona and Colorado, found a ton of peace in being by myself. However, I also felt, man, it would be nice to have someone to share this with. That's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Men, I think, to Scott's point, are more like that than women.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I'm not complete without you. I'm fine without you. I like this version of me with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel I've ever had a partner who made me feel empowered. And so I've cared for a lot of people, but I always bucked up against this particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you and I first met and I told you I couldn't stand one of my mom's brothers, and we were 3 weeks dating, and everyone afterward, all my family members went, you heard it. What are you doing? You're going to scare her away. That's what I've heard my whole life, that my speaking out is scary. My whole life I've heard that. And yet you were the one person that went, I love that about you.
Yeah, you weren't speaking out like, oh, he's just an asshole. There was a story you told where he crossed a line and was very disrespectful to your mom, and you called him out on that shit.
Yeah, and I know it's his sister. It's also my mother.
Yeah.
So,
But there was something that was wrong in that moment, and you spoke up about it. That's what I was.
but I never had a partner who has made me feel that way. So to answer the question, there's never really been someone like you. So there just hasn't. I'm not just saying that for you. I think you know.
I know. I get that. And I could say the same thing, really, and it's not to stroke your ego or make you feel, it's not about making you feel good. But the truth is, I've never known a love like this. And so it feels like it does transcend previous feelings of love. And not to take away from those previous relationships, but this is different. And this is some good shit we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You have had relationships clearly prior to me, and some were right up to that edge of being, God, it was so good. And it wasn't like it was so good until it was so good, and there was always a little thing. I don't have that thing with you, right? It's one thing to be frustrated by each other for certain reasons. I don't have that thing of. I guess what it comes down to, for me at least, Kath, that's why I wanted to talk about it. No one has said when I get like that, good for you, proud of you. It's, well, did you have to? Right?
Yeah.
And when I came back from Colorado and Arizona, I went, no more. And if people think I'm too much, well, I guess I'm not the right person for you.
Yeah.
And so to be able to say what I said about my mom's brother within 2 weeks of knowing you, and at the same time then listening to you tell me, hey, there's a different way to be effective there. That's much different than saying you're a lot. So thank you.
Yeah.
How about that? That was
Okay. All right.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Thanks for
Okay.
doing it. Love you too, babe. On that note, peace.
You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Cathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.